Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's event. What more to know about globalization? A pedagogical methodology approach. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. We've taken a screenshot of an attendee interface. You should see something like this on your computer desktop in the upper right corner. You're listening on the computer speaker system by default. If you would prefer to join over the phone, just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit your answers and ask questions to the presenters. But the center of this discussion is for the students to share their ideas regarding the topic given and give their positive pedagogical methodologies along with their insights. Moving on, I would now like to introduce the presenters. We have presenter number 1, Miss Jenny Gorenzo, presenter number 2, Miss Marianne Vicente, presenter number 3, Mr. J. Lord Minas, and presenter number 4, Miss Joyce Tayaban.
Today's discussion is about what more to know about globalization, and we look into details of the viewpoint of the students on globalization, how they will respond to this kind of phenomena or concept, and how will they expand the thought of it in order for the young generation to be enlightened. So whenever you're ready, just click the raise hand button for us to know when to start. Thank you.
Seems like everyone is ready. Let's get to it.
What is globalization? Globalization is a term for the process of connecting and movement of goods, services, capital, and the increasing levels of integration that characterize the economic activity and people among different countries all over the world. Also, through this globalization, millions of people in other countries become successful.
For example, here in our country, we can see that there are many overseas workers and they send money from different countries like dollars and euros. Through this kind of connection or movements, it will lead to economic growth of our country. Another example of this is the joining of the Philippines World Trade Organization that results in many opportunities for the other countries to trade and work with us.
This phenomena results an impact not only for those who work, I mean the adult ones, but also for everyone including us teenagers. Based on what I've heard, we all know that people are being connected to other people of different races and colors from different parts of the world. Not only this, through globalization, technological advances, economic increase, and many other more will be possible. But how do you respond to this kind of changes?
Oh, I've seen hands raised here. Good to know that our fellow students are with us. Let's give time to the students who raised their hands.
Thank you. As a Filipino citizen, supporting the organizations that are being created by the globalization is one of my responsibilities. I know that these programs and organizations are being built to give progress and development to the country, patriotism, endorsement, and full support. Grateful, for it helps me to enhance my ability to assess, access, adapt, and to think independently to exercise the appropriate judgment, and to collaborate with others to make sense of new situations.
My response to globalization is almost whenever you think. Globalization generates a startling similar pattern. First, the mix of enticing content, power imbalances, and the sheer numbers of flows that constitute globalization promote homogenizing tendency of which both Soviet elites and the masses are accurately aware.
I agree with you, Jasmine. I would like to add that in relation to cultures, it really made something that enables us to preserve every culture's informations, tactics, or techniques, and it has been passed by and by every generations, and that is adopted by the upcoming generations.
Yes, it is a useful look that we can use in order to widen our knowledge and understanding on things focusing in different aspects, like education, health, industry, economy, and to ourselves. We have to be more updated by the changes.
I'm very impressed that these young ones are aware of how globalizations affect every aspect of living. And thank you for the shared ideas and informations. I will try to summarize their points. With globalizations, it enhances the students' ability to acquire knowledge, adapt, to think critically, and make sense of the situations. Studying globalization helps them understand the differences among nations around the world so that they can minimize the barriers among people from different cultures and religions.
Thank you, Dean, for the summary. With all these ideas given, let's ask ourselves how we can circulate, expand, and teach the concept of globalization in today's generation. As I noticed, present generations have been filled with such advanced technologies wherein every citizen have been knowledgeably aware of its uses and the benefits it may bring.
With that, globalization should be taught as the encouragement of change, for it really does bring changes in every aspect of life. Is my observation correct?
True. Social media such as Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and so on has been widely used for easier and faster trade, transactions, and communications. Moreover, the present generation must be aware that globalization might bring hope, prosperity, wealth, and opportunities. However, we should be aware of the negative impacts it might bring. What do you guys think?
Great idea. I mean, the best example is a video lecture that could be posted on different social media platforms that are available. Just like what you mentioned, anyone in this generation knows about YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, where anyone can express facts and opinions that could be publicized to be seen by other users of the application. Well, in that way, the viewers of the video, which contains topics about globalization, can have an idea about globalization in the whole world.
Wow, I'm really amazed by this mindset. In my perspective as an educator, globalization should be taught with a clear and healthy understanding of the current affairs of the world. It should be taught with action and communication with others all over the world, and to teach globalization whether through the use of social media platforms or personal interaction. Students must first need to experience it in order to be introduced successfully as a curriculum that promotes internalization of the higher education and as of the ways of aggregating growth and poverty reduction of one's country.
Sir, why do you think globalization should be taught to the new generation even if the phenomena is seen and it's obvious?
I don't think everyone in this generation is aware of how globalization works, and I think globalization has been induced in this generation a long time ago. Teaching this generation about globalization, its visions, and its effect will be helpful.
I see, sir. Thank you. The lesson is we must look at the holism of globalization. It does not only evolve on technologies in school or in social media. Rather, it necessitates that young people be given the knowledge and confidence to be a successful participants in their respective countries' labor markets through education and skill training.
Anyone else want to share? Okay, I think we're ready to close. Thank you to those who shared their ideas. To put words into a close, I hope we presenters gave information that must be known regarding to globalization, how to respond to it, and how to disseminate this information to young generations. We also witnessed how the participants in this meeting engaged themselves into the discussion for better sharing of insights, and we're grateful for that.
Thank you, Jailard, and thank you everyone for attending today's discussion titled What More to Know About Globalization, a Pedagogical Methodology Approach. If you have any other questions, please contact Jailard Minas and Joyce Tayaban as seen on the screen. Once you leave today's meeting, you will receive a survey and the presentation, and we would appreciate it if you would complete that and provide your feedback.
You will also receive a follow-up email within 24 to 48 hours with a link to view of recording of today's meeting. On behalf of Nueva Vizcaya State University and our presenters, thank you for joining us today and have a great rest of your day.